Good evening. Welcome back to PWT Rely News with your host, Mosey Along. And tonight on We Review Sunday, I'm going to tell you something about those millennials. Not only are they having trouble keeping a job, but they refuse to take care of their aging parents. However, whatever they say is not quite the whole story. Millennials say they refuse to care for aging boomer parents, but reality tells a different story. This story lit up all the liars. Millennials declaring they refuse to care for their aging baby boomer parents. The headline is loud, the sentiment is sharp, and the online comments are brutal. But we always do. On We Review Sunday, we look past all that noise and into the truth underneath what I call the belly of the beast. A 3-year-old Reddit thread resurfaced with millennials venting about housing costs, student debt, and a dismantled social safety net. Many said, quote, old folks home it will be, unquote, blaming boomers for pulling up the ladder behind them. AOL's reporting shows accusing boomers of benefiting from decades of housing and equity appreciation while younger generations struggle to afford basic life milestones. It reads like a generational war. Boomers versus millennials. Resentment versus responsibility. But Nick Lichtenberg's reporting shows something very different happening in real American households. Despite this online bravado, millennials are already caring for their aging parents, unpaid, exhausted, and often financially strained. The Population Reference Bureau found that family caregivers assisting older adults grew 32% between 2011 and 2022, from 18.2 million to 24.1 million. Adult children remain the largest category of caregivers in America at 40.7%. But I gotta tell you something, y'all, and you know this is always the woman who was consigned to take care of the elder parents. Many of them had to give up a husband, children, and their future and stay home and take care of the parents. But now it's the men too, and they don't like it. And multi-generational living is rising. 66 million Americans, or 1 in 4, now live in multi-generational households. Pew Research says this is driven by financial necessity, but it also deepens caregiving obligation. So while the internet says no, real life says already doing it, but it's okay for them youngsters to come back and go to the bank of mom and dad. They don't discuss that. One day we will. Several structural forces have trapped millennials in caregiving roles. Smaller families, fewer siblings to share the load. Geographic spread, adult children living far from parents. A national shortage of paid care workers. Well, they got rid of the immigrants. Come on. Rising elder care costs that push responsibility back onto families. And then there's the inheritance issue. Boomers hold $93 trillion in wealth, but only about 36 to roughly 40 cents on the dollar after debt. taxes, fees, and charitable giving. That shrinking inheritance means millennials will shoulder more caregiving costs themselves. So what's the truth, people? Online, millennials say they refuse to care for their aging parents, us. Offline, they're already doing it, quietly, heavily, and often without support. The generational tension is real, but the caregiving burden is even more real. And as boomers turn 80 in record numbers, this story isn't going away. It's only beginning. So listen up, you all, especially millennials. There are certain states that offer to pay you for taking care of your elder parents. Look it up. Do some research. Use the brains that college gave you. Not all is lost. The other thing is, a lot of older parents are going into independent living homes. Find out where they are. Discuss it with them. I know that's where I landed up. My young mooses, they all got together and decided I'd be better off in an independent living home. Can't say it's done me too much, and I can't say it can't do me much better. But I'll tell you this much. I am safe and I am protected. So something for y'all to think about. Maybe sit down and talk it among the herd. Stay alert. Keep informed. Go over to our website, pwtrealnews.kinsta.cloud, C-L-O-U-T. Take a look at the blog. Take a look at the individual pages. They're all full. Even the news briefs will tell you everything you want to know. And golly gee Moses, I was raised on the Dewey Decimal System, and I can find anything. And you should be able to find anything too. Educate yourself, folks. Educate. Have a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good night, all.